Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. And as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. Today it is an honor and privilege to have Dave, Big D, the vocalist of PigWeed. Their debut album, The Wait, will be released on March 9th via Pavement Entertainment. And we're going to be talking to Dave about that new album. So Dave, how's it going, man?
How you doing, bud?
What's impressed or excited you the most about making the debut album, The Wait? What's caught your eye about it the most, if anything, man?
It was just really being able to release something that we wrote from the heart. You know, it was just that feeling that anxiety and that being anxious to see how people were going to react to the album, because you know, everything we write is surely from bands that influenced us, and then, you know, growing up to stuff and writing from the heart, it just all came together, man. So I think we just putting out the album finally and releasing it to the world was the most exciting part, because we got some pretty crazy reviews, and it's been awesome.
Any songs off the debut album stand out more to you than any on it as of right now, possibly? Has any songs from like an EP made this album?
There's 2 songs on there, actually 3 songs, that stuck out the most with us and our fans, and even the label, which is a song called Mistakes. And then the second song was a song called The Putrid. And then their third favorite was a song called The End.
I gotta say, man, I've got to listen to this album many times, actually. And Check Yourself is good. I like that one.
Awesome.
Time Is Now, The Putrid. I like that. This is a really good album from you guys. So you guys did a really good job on it.
Thank you. You know, we tried to, you know, what we did was we sat down with everybody in the band real quick and just kind of had a barbecue. We all just talked about our influences. And we made sure that everybody in the band had a little piece in the music writing this way, because different members in the band like different stuff. Some of the guys like 10 Years and Breaking Benjamin. Other guys like Slipknot and stuff like that. So we were like, man, if we could take it all and put it together, then we can attract different listeners that listen to different genres of metal. Because we do have people that like Time Is Now, Check Yourself, those more songs that have a little bit more singing involved. And then we have people that like the real heavy stuff, you know. So when we play live, it's awesome to see everybody come together.
Kind of puts me in a little mind of Mushroom Head as well, like you guys do, and I like that. I'm a big Mushroom Head fan as well.
Oh yeah, I love those guys.
Who produced this album, Dave?
Actually, 80% of the album, 90% of the album was produced by our own guitar player, Mauricio Ortega. He is the one member in this band. He actually started this band, and from the time the band started till now, he's been recording the band, and he put a lot of time into this album. And there's a lot of times me and him sat there and went through stuff. But Mo was the main guy that produced the album and recorded it. And he's our guitar player, the one that does all the clean singing.
You know, working with someone in the band as a producer versus them being just another guy in the band, how is working with him as a producer? Does he put the producer hat on and you know, drive you guys harder? How do you guys work this out?
It goes both ways. It's actually between me and Mo. But Mo, dealing with Mo and him being the producer of what we do was a little bit difficult when I first joined. It was real hard to get him to budge in any kind of way. But he had a goal, and he had an image that he was trying to aim for. And we've had a couple of members come and go for the simple fact that it's hard dealing with somebody who's in the band as well as produces everything, because as we get to practice and we might change some stuff, that's not visually what he's seeing and what he's hearing. So it kind of, sometimes it'll collide a little bit, but Mo's such a great guy. You know, he's always open-minded to hear what we have to say. And some of the times the stuff came out better, you know, after he heard what we had to say, and he changed some stuff up, and he was like, you know what, you guys are right. Sounds better. So it's difficult, but it's also a privilege and awesome to have somebody have that much direction.
How long did it take you guys to record this album?
We actually started recording the album, I'd say probably about a year before we even got with Pavement. The album was already starting to progress as what songs we were going to be putting on it. As we were writing, when we got with Pavement, we were halfway through the album already. And they heard some of the tracks and said, you know, we want to do that. So we got back into the studio once we got with Pavement and finished the other 5 tracks. And so it took about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
With having 2 vocalists, how do you both work your vocal parts out for a song? Does it become difficult at some point?
Oh, actually, we have 3 vocalists.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We have Mo, who is our lead guitarist. He does all the singing stuff. I do all the lower tone, I guess you would say, Marilyn Manson kind of stuff that's on the album, like Mistakes. I'm the one that sings Mistakes. I sing the song The End. So a lot of the lower tone, heavier kind of vocals is the vocals I do. And then we have Fresh, who does a little bit of everything. He backs us up here and there. He does some screaming. He has his own parts. But Fresh is like the power aggressive vocalist in this band. When we want it to be as heavy as possible, Fresh is the man for the job. So I do screaming as well, but our screams are different. So as we're writing the song or album or whatever we're doing, we'll actually go through it and go, man, this part will sound good with some raspy vocals, you know, and then boom, right here, we're going to go heavy. But we all know once we say we're going to go heavy, Fresh knows that's my part. So we kind of distinguished where we're at in the band.
Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process, you know, to help keep your mind open and fresh, to not let the music get stale? Do you do anything differently when you're going into this? With
me, vocally, it's kind of different for me, because since I've been in the band, I've done probably about 4 different positions in this band.
Oh, wow.
Originally, I came in and I was adding some Latin percussion and had some congos and stuff, and I was just adding a little bit of flavor to the group. As we went on, we winded up losing a guitar player, and some of the percussion was very little. So I jumped up and I winded up doing both. I was doing guitars for half of the set, and then certain parts I would turn around, swing my guitar around my back, and actually do some congos or whatever. And I did that for a while. And then our singer Fresh, the one that does the real heavy stuff, he got sick for a little bit. And so I winded up jumping up front and kind of helping him. We had a couple of shows. And from that point on, he was just kind of like, man, I feel comfortable with you being up there. So I winded up being up front with Fresh and helping write vocals and stuff. Now, as far as the writing goes, me and Mo are the ones that write all the material as far as guitar and everything. And then the other guys will come in and add their flavor. So when it came to the studio recording, the vocal process, I just focused on the music with Mo, trying to get it as tight as possible. And then I took a week. I went on vacation for like a week. I turned my phone off. I mean, I had no access to anything that was going on in San Antonio. And I just went to the beach with my wife and cleared my mind. And I talked to the Lord and found some inner parts in me that wanted to come out vocally.
Sure.
And by the time I got back into San Antonio, I was ready.
Yeah, you've got to have that part to clear your mind, man. You've got to have that time to yourself to recharge the batteries, as I should say.
Exactly. And I knew we needed it. I mean, this album deserves so much, you know. So when I did that, I came back, I did my vocals. While I was doing my vocals, Fresh took a little vacay. He came back, listened to everything, did his vocals, and then Mo finished out with his vocals. So we kind of talk before we do anything and kind of strategize how we're going to do it and when we're going to do it.
What do you hope the fans take away from this new album from PigWeed once they start listening to it, or just PigWeed's music in general, Dave?
I've answered this question a couple of times. I'm just going to say it point blank. PigWeed, the only thing we want for people to get out of what we do is for them to emotionally feel connected or can relate to something that we're doing. As I grew up as a kid, I didn't have a lot of friends and stuff, so every time things would go bad, I would always find an album or something, and I would just dig into that album and play it over and over again and dwell my sorrows away. So as I got older and I started writing and I got into PigWeed and we were talking, I had brought that to their attention. That was the only thing I really wanted, was to be able to give that to that kid or that person that needs that little boost of confidence when they're going through hard times. And I think the whole band agreed, because we all know that we're never going to be rich, we're never going to be rock stars, we're never going to be doing all that stuff. But what we do know is that the fans that we do have in front of us, I mean, they really relate to what we're doing. And when we're on stage and I'm looking at them and I'm singing certain parts and they're singing it back to me, I've seen some of the fans crying. I've had fans come up to me and say, this song got me through my mom's death. This song helped me, get through bullies that were bullying me at school.
Wow.
This song, taught me how to become a better man and to apologize for all the bad stuff I've done, because we have a song, Mistakes, which is literally about that. Mm-hmm. And when we play live, I mention it to the crowd that this song is about making mistakes and one day having to man up and ask for forgiveness. So when those people come up to us and they say, man, that really helped me, that's what it's all about for us.
It's like I've always said, man, music is the best therapy and drug that there will ever be.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree with that one, brother.
Because there's been many songs that's touched me and helped me when my father was very ill, that got me through day in and day out. And, so I know where these people are coming from. And thank God for those bands that helped me, because I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it hadn't been for them to let me get my anger out and to make it to another day during that time.
Exactly. That's awesome, man.
What can fans expect at a show from the mighty PigWeed? What are they going to get, Dave, when they come to see you guys live?
I'll tell you right now, that is one of our biggest points in this band, is us playing live. They will get nothing but pure energy. They will get nothing but a real show. We are there to entertain them. We are there to express our emotion with them. So when I ask them to jump with us, my whole band jumps, including everybody in front of me. And then that's what we're there for. We're there to put on a good show and for y'all guys to have fun. No violence, nobody getting into fights. We don't allow any of that at our shows. We see that stuff go on, we stop the song and we correct that real quick, because we're there to have a good time, and that's what they're going to get. They're going to get energy, power, and just a damn good time with their buddies and awesome music.
I have so much respect for you guys and all the ones who stop during their set to stop the idiots out there from fighting. I mean, we're all here to have a good time, get away from work, get away from that shit right there that takes place everywhere else. We're coming to have a good time and not to fight. I mean, wake up. Have a little fun, folks. I mean, Jesus, you know, this is a privilege. I mean, honestly, it's a privilege to watch these bands play. And that's just how I see it. You should go have a good time, just relax, drink a couple beers, pop, whatever you want to drink. Just go have fun. Let it out.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about, man. So if that's what you want in a show, then you need to come see PigWeed.
We're living in the digital era of music, Dave. Do you like the recording albums this way, plus social media, getting out to fans quicker? What's your take on this, man? Do you guys like this?
It has its pros and it has its good and its bad, you know. But to us, as long as it reaches everybody in the world, just for them to have a chance to listen to it, we'll accept it. Because, I mean, it is what it is. Things are changing. People are changing. They're doing stuff differently now with the internet, downloads, all that stuff. It does take away a little bit of the soul in an artist when people steal music and stuff like that. But, you know, the way we look at it is we must be a damn good band if this guy wants to come and steal our album. So, you know what? You can have it. That's the way we look at it, you know, because it's just so much out there with social media and the internet and stuff that it actually makes it easier in ways for bands, but it also makes it a lot harder too, because then you get people that go, well, man, I'd love to see these guys play live, but, you know, I could go to YouTube or I can go here and not have to go out and deal with all the idiots out there. And that's why we're trying to bring back that fun environment, that no violence, no crap stuff. You know, we're letting people know that this is what goes down at our shows. We're not going to have any of that. So it's just, it's one of those things, man, where you got to take it the way it comes and just try to make the best out of it.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, man, that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
To be honest with you, the first time I saw Kiss.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My brothers had a record or whatever, and I remember just growing up jamming to Strutter and all that stuff, and then my brother showed me the album cover, and I was like just blown away by the theatrics in it, that I just thought it was the coolest thing. And I winded up getting my first guitar when I was like 7, and I just been into music. Like I said, I grew up not having a lot of friends, so it was the one thing that I could do that made me happy, and I didn't get in trouble until I cranked it up real loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just one of those things, man, where I saw Kiss and I was like, man, it interests me. And then as I got a little bit older and I started seeing all the glamorous stuff, you know, the females, the money, you know, like, oh yeah, I really want to do this now. But right when I hit around 11 or 12, it was weird. Like my whole concept of wanting to play to get girls and impress my buddies was not the issue anymore. Like I really wanted to know how to do this rudiment on my drums. And I started just getting into the music of it, and all my buddies were still partying, impressing their girlfriends, and I just totally blacked all them out. And I went into this zone and became the drummer that I became. I winded up joining one of the best bands here in town and doing some touring, and we opened up for like Pantera and Overkill, Propane, Anthrax, Fight, Budgie. I mean, we did a bunch of big stuff. So at a very young age, man, I went very deep in the music. It just grabbed me by the soul.
Folks, PigWeed's debut album, The Wait, is out right now via Pavement Entertainment. Like I said, I've got to listen to this album. I dig it. I like it. And I hope that you guys go out and pick it up and give it a chance. They got some really, really, really great songs on this. And I'm not saying that just because Dave's on here. It's the God's honest truth. Dave, thank you guys for your music and what you have contributed to the metal world. How can fans stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, tour dates, this album? How can they do that?
Okay. Well, right now our webpage is under construction. It will be up. But if y'all guys want to stay in touch with Pigweed, the best place to go to is Facebook. And what you'll do is you'll punch in Pigweed, SATX. That'll take you to our page. On there, we post everything, our tour dates, every show that we're doing. We do live little footage for you just to kind of give you an update on studio stuff that's coming on. So definitely go there. We will let you know when the webpage is up. When the webpage comes up, we're going to have a merch store on there. We'll have full merch ready for y'all guys. But before I get off this interview, I just wanted to say one thing real quick. For everybody who's out there listening, or anybody who pays attention to any kind of art, music, theater, acting, whatever it is, if you run into an artist and they ask you to give them 5 seconds of your time just to hear something that they probably put years of work into, please do that, because you'll never know what you're going to hear or see, because you might just be blown away.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right, my friend. Would you care to do a promo for my show before I let you go, Dave?
Oh, I'd love to. All righty. This is Big D from Pigweed, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We've got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thanks, Dave, so much, man.
Thank you, man, and y'all guys have a blessed day.